Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm the evidence you're about to present in the matter now hearing should be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Your Honor, are you judging me? And no law is above God's law. So I cannot honor any of your laws. It supersedes every single law that you guys have given me. I am friends with the IRS.
All right, guys, the IRS and I are practically best friends at this point. If you're enjoying the content, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out a ton. Now, let's jump into this absolutely wild court hearing, featuring a woman who refused to pay $2,000 in court fees and is now trying to argue that she's not a citizen and that God's law overrides everyone else's, despite having a history of shoplifting and other questionable behavior. The judge in this case has a no-nonsense demeanor, making his reactions to her absurd claims even funnier, and both he and the attorney completely shut her down. What makes this even more entertaining is how she doubles down on her bizarre arguments, refusing to acknowledge the court's authority while the judge remains impressively patient, though clearly unimpressed. As the case unfolds, it becomes obvious she's not getting away with her antics, and in the end, she receives a fitting sentence. Honestly, it's well-deserved given how ridiculous her defense is. Huge shout out to Court Nerds for the video. This one's incredibly entertaining, so let's dive right in.
We're asking that Ms. Lott is incarcerated until the $2,755.40 is paid, Your Honor. And Your Honor, I am asking for attorney fees for today, Your Honor, and even me having to file this motion and continue to, seek attorney fees from Ms. Lott, Your Honor.
What are you asking for today?
Your Honor, for today, Your Honor, I'm asking for $1,500, Your Honor. And I can provide my affidavit to the court, Your Honor. We had to communicate with the court, Your Honor. I've been practicing law since 2008, Your Honor. I've been in good standing since that time. Your Honor, I charged my client a flat fee of the $1,500 just to try to see, just so we can file this motion for incarceration.
All right, Ms. Lott, raise your right hand. You swear or affirm the evidence you're about to present in the matter now hearing should be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Your Honor, are you judging me?
If you want to call it that, but I assume you want to testify on your own behalf.
Yes, I do. And if the attorney is not going to be sworn in, that is a conflict of interest. And I have filed motions. I filed a quo warranto because I have searched for law licenses and I have not found any. There's been no true judges since 1789. And the United States filed a Chapter 11 in 1933, which lost their sovereignty as a government. So I can't even be heard here. I have asked the court to provide me documentation stating that this is an Article 3 court. I have not gotten anything back from the judge with any type of documentation from the Attorney General, from the Secretary of State. You guys have not had permission to try me, and no law is above God's law. So I cannot honor any of your laws. It supersedes every single law that you guys have given me. I have tried to settle this in court. I have filed a fiduciary relationship 56. I am friends with the IRS. I have attempted to settle with a $20 money order because there is no money with the court, and everything was sent back. So rejection of payment is payment, Your Honor. And my religion strongly prohibits any satanic laws or rituals, and I cannot serve two masters. So either I don't even know what to do here in this matter, because I have asked to be tried in an Article 3 court. This is not a court of equity. God's law trumps all laws made by man. God also says no man should be judged or you will be judged. This is my religion. I have not broken any of God's laws. I have not committed any crimes. I have not harmed my offspring. I am the first lien holder on my child's estate. So there is nothing that I can do for Miss LaFleur, and I will not be paying it because my God told me not to. He gave me the instructions on what to do, and you guys refused it. You guys refused my quo warranto because it wasn't written in the way that you accepted, but I am not under your laws. I am friends with the IRS. I have sent out my documentation. I have my own contract with myself. I don't have a contract with you guys. I have not signed anything, and I am not a 14th Amendment corporate war citizen. I am a natural person. That is what I have to say.
Do you have any questions for Ms. Lott or Ms. St. Fleur?
Yes, Ms. Lott, were you present in court for the petition for legitimation with Tariq Crump?
Ms. LaFleur, can you provide me your...
It's St. Fleur. It's St. Fleur. It's not LaFleur. We're gonna quote all of these articles. Make sure you get my name right. It's St. Fleur.
St. Fleur?
It's St. Fleur. Were you in court? I mean, I'm not sure if any of the articles could tell me, but were you in court?
Questions. I have no further answers for any of your questions. I said what I said. This law does not trump God's law. I'm under God's law, and that's it.
Well,
She's just rambling without actually saying anything meaningful. Honestly, I don't know how the judge is keeping a straight face. Maybe it's because he's seen it all over the years, or maybe she's just on a whole different level of delusion. It's almost funny how she thinks she's making a valid argument, but she's really just talking in circles. I kind of get the whole sovereign law concept. Nobody likes being controlled by the government, but that doesn't mean you can just break the law without consequences. When you're out here shoplifting, refusing to pay fines, and ending up in court because of your own actions, it's completely fair for the system to hold you accountable. Whether that means jail time or paying those fees, there's no way around it. Her argument just doesn't hold up. She's making a completely useless argument because she actually did commit a crime. If she were being falsely accused, then maybe the whole sovereign citizen argument would make some sense. But in this case, she's just flat out delusional. You can see right through her reasoning. There's no logic behind it. I can't tell if she's genuinely out of her mind or just putting on an act. A lot of people fake being mentally unstable in court to avoid accountability, but with her, it seems like she actually believes what she's saying. Based on this Zoom court hearing alone, she definitely needs to be locked up or at least evaluated because her mindset is completely detached from reality. What's even more ridiculous is that the judge hasn't called her out on it yet. It's almost laughable, but honestly, this is just how things are nowadays. With all the media influence and the way people play the victim, this is what you get. And look, I'm not some pro-government, pro-law type of person, but at the end of the day, if you commit a crime, you need to own up to it. If you do the crime, do the time. It's that simple. Now, let's get into the second half of this clip, where the judge finally puts an end to the nonsense and hands down a pretty harsh sentence.
saying you had 10 days to pay this $2,755.40. Do you have any proof that any payment was made?
I have the proof here, and this was sent back to me. This is the money order that I sent to the court.
That's that $20 thing you said?
Yes, it is. That is the settlement that is written in your laws. I did send the thing. They send it back, and refusal of payment is payment, so I will handle it with the IRS from here.
Well, $20 doesn't equal $2,755.40.
For any court fees cannot supersede to $20, and that is what I paid as a natural person. I don't know about any U.S. citizen. I'm not a U.S. citizen. I'm a natural person and a private American. I've not committed any crimes under God's law. I have not stolen. I have not bared false witnesses. I have not killed anyone. I have not dishonored my mother and my father, and I have not put any man before God, and I will not put any of you guys before God either.
Fine. All right, Ms. Lott, I'm going to find you in contempt of court for failure to pay the $2,755.40. Order you incarcerated, that is jailed, until you've paid the money.
I will be taking it up with the IRS, and I will be filing liens because you guys do not have liens over myself, my estate, or my child. So
You'll take it up with the sheriff first.
no, I will not, because the sheriff does not have any jurisdiction.
Turn yourself in, or the sheriff will come out and arrest you.
Jurisdiction over me, and the sheriff does not have any jurisdiction over
That's
me.
fine. Once you're released, I'll give you 90 days to pay an additional $1,500 for attorney's fees incurred by the plaintiff for today's proceeding. And I'll ask Ms. St. Fleur to submit the order.
Will do, Your Honor.
And include in that, the sheriff will notify the court when Ms. Lott has been arrested.
Can you guys provide me with evidence that you are Article 3 court and not a military court?
And we'll send you a copy of the order.
I seriously don't get her strategy here. Did she really think she could walk into court, act crazy, and the judge would just let her slide? This is exactly what I'd expect from someone completely out of touch with reality. She's clearly not thinking straight, and honestly, the sentence was well deserved. She got 6 months for not paying the $2,000 in court fees after shoplifting or whatever crime she committed, and she's still trying to play the victim. This is just another example of that victim mentality that's so common these days. People latch onto it and ride it endlessly, refusing to take responsibility for their actions. I don't know what you guys think, but I see this pattern everywhere. People just avoiding accountability and acting like the world owes them something. That said, I've got to give props to the judge. He handled this like a total professional, completely unfazed, like it was just another routine case. The way he sat through her nonsense without reacting was impressive. He barely said a word the entire time, just letting her dig her own hole before finally delivering the verdict. No emotion, no nonsense, just straight facts. More people need to be like this judge in everyday life instead of letting emotions control them. At the end of the day, she had every opportunity to defend herself properly, but instead, she chose to act crazy, and it completely backfired. The judge saw right through her BS and handled it exactly the way it needed to be handled. Thinking clearly at all. I mean, why would anyone willingly go to jail instead of just owning up to their mistakes? If she had just been a little more reasonable and used whatever common sense she has left, she probably could have avoided jail and just ended up with a heavier fine. But instead, her arrogance and complete lack of self-awareness led her straight into a prison sentence she could have easily dodged. Honestly, she got exactly what she deserved. Let me know what you guys think, but personally, I believe prison has a way of humbling people. Some people just have this ingrained smugness and narcissism, and I don't know if that can be broken. But if anything is going to force her to wake up and take accountability, it's time behind bars. Whether or not she actually learns from this is another question, though, because based on what we've seen, she seems way too far gone. I honestly don't think she's going to come out of this a changed person. She seems completely set in her ways, like she genuinely believes she's above everyone else, some kind of untouchable, godlike figure. It's that same delusional, narcissistic mindset that got her here in the first place, and I don't see her snapping out of it anytime soon. But to end on a good note, here's my final message. If you stay out of trouble, you won't need to pretend to be crazy.
Simple as that.
People like this just can't admit when they're wrong, so they resort to playing the victim. And let's be real, most of the time, people who claim to be victims nowadays aren't actually victims. You have control over your life. Just don't commit crimes, and you won't find yourself in situations like this. That's going to wrap up my breakdown. If you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and what you want to see next. Thanks for watching, and as always, take care.